It is I, Leanne, here with another WIP and Chat, Diamonds and Doxies. Of course, you already know that because you're here. I was working on this today's Monday. Yes, I was working on this yesterday on Mia's live. Well, while I was listening to Mia's live, and I did finish over here, and I was working on this part over here, and then I got sidetracked, got called away for a little bit, so I wasn't able to finish. So I thought, well, you know what? I think I will hang out with y'all and try to finish this section. I don't know if we'll finish it because these are a little bit more than what this is about normal, what I would be doing for a section, but I'm going to go ahead and include this. So it's a little bit bigger than usual, but a lot of color blocking. So, and I apologize for the yawn in advance. I don't know what the heck's wrong with me. I just do that and I don't know why. So I guess I should tell you my pen is from Butterfly Effect Wares, and I've got single placer and a multi-placer, both from Diamond Art Club. They are my favorites. I am using a container from Grayson's Creations, and during Mia's live, Jay Lily was looking for some small shops that she could contact to see if they wanted to throw out there any of their specials they might be having for Black Friday, because I think her and Shay are going to be talking about them on Black Friday. And so we said Grayson's Creations. Well, apparently they no longer have that particular, we thought they were out of business, and we were like, oh no. And so I just, I found them on a website, so I sent them they had to contact me, so I did. I sent them a message and asked, and they were like, oh no, we're still around. They've just changed our, we made a new shop or whatever, so they are not out of business. So I was happy to hear that. So yeah, they're the ones who make Intergalactic Putty. Super nice guys. So yeah, definitely recommend. Anyway, I also like their trays. Just saying, I do like their trays. I like that they're thicker, but I can't really show you because, well, I got drills in here, but maybe I'll remember when I go to switch over drills. The side walls are high, so it makes jiggling them, which is what I do, work. They don't go flying everywhere. So yeah, so that's all the news that's worth the news, or whatever they used to say. So today is Monday. Usually I film these on Tuesdays, but I decided to go ahead and do this today. As I'm sure if you've been around for, last time I think I talked about doing Thanksgiving here at my house. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And today I was like, oh, it's Monday. First I was thinking I was going to go to the grocery store and the end of this week, like Thursday, the week before Thanksgiving. I was like, that'll give me plenty of time and get all my stuff. And I was like, but I do want to go by Costco, because I was wanting to get a big bag of Mrs. Schubert's. I was like, what am I trying to say here? Dinner rolls. They're in the frozen section. They're super, super good. I was going to make my own rolls, and then I was like, how about we just buy some rolls? So that's what I did. But I was hoping to get them there because you can get a larger amount. Plus, I thought maybe they'd have some sort of like a hash brown casserole, or something like that I could just pop in the oven, so I didn't have to actually fix potatoes. They did not. I mean, I did get turkey. They had a fresh turkey, a butterball, so I was happy to see that. And it's good until December something, so it'll be fine for our celebration. So that's good. And then, I was like, well, we'll go to the grocery store tomorrow. And we were just kind of sitting downstairs doing nothing besides looking at mindless Facebook and what have you. And Max was like, well, you know, you want to go somewhere? And I was like, let's go to the grocery store. Let's just get this over with. And I was like, it shouldn't be that bad on a Monday. Y'all, okay, Costco, I kept thinking today was Saturday because, yes, I know it's right before Thanksgiving, but it's not that much before, you know? I mean, it's not right before. But anyway, so we went to the grocery store, and oh my goodness, it was absolutely packed. And of course, you know, they did not have any kind of hash brown casserole, and I'm like, did I just dream this? Did I just make this up in my head? Because I could have sworn it was something that was a thing, you know, that you could buy it already made. But anyway, Max was like, you know, all Max Jr. wants really is mashed potatoes. I went, fine, you know, I'll make him some mashed potatoes. So, I don't know why I don't like making mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. And I think it's because I have the dressing. But he doesn't like dressing. And I just, you know, how old is he? He is 38. So I guess I should let him have that, you know. Quit waiting for him to change. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, fine. I will make some mashed potatoes. It's not difficult. It's easier than making a hash brown casserole, which is what I normally do. But I was just trying to get out of having to cook so much. So, but, I mean, come on, a monkey can make mashed potatoes. The only thing I wasn't able to get at the store that was on my list besides that was green onions. I know that they'll get more in before the holiday gets here. So I might go to a different store tomorrow and see, because the ones that they had out were just pitiful. They were just pitiful looking. And I was like, no, you know, they look like they're half dead now. So I was like, no, I just need to wait. So I didn't get that, but I did get the onion and the celery and, you know, that sort of thing. So we did that. The amount of people that were out was just insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I mean, I realize, you know, 'tis the season, but, you know, I still was really surprised. However, having said that, I mean, the reason why we decided to go to the store earlier, besides Thursday, is because we are having a chance of some pretty good rainstorms starting on Thursday and going all the way until, like, for 5 days, so going all the way into the next week. And, you know, I was like, well, I don't want to be, you know, schlepping groceries out to the car when it's raining. So I guess everybody else had the same thoughts. It was crazy. And I could tell by people's baskets. I mean, they were buying Thanksgiving stuff. So, yeah. But I am very pleased that we'll get to have Thanksgiving here. So, yeah. I'm hoping my dad comes. I really do hope he comes. It will be our first Thanksgiving together. I don't want to pressure him, so I don't tell him that, but, you know, because I don't know, you know, he might feel uncomfortable. And, you know, I bet you if I told him, well, you know, this will be my first Thanksgiving with my dad, you know, that he would. But I don't, you know, do you want someone to feel just super uncomfortable? No. So I decided, you know, he says he thinks he probably will, but he just doesn't want to commit right now. And I understand that, because I'm a little bit like that. I'm a let's see kind of person. So, yeah. And I'll tell you something else I did this year. First time, I'm 62, first time in my life that I've ever decorated or even thought about decorating before Christmas. I'm not before Christmas, before Thanksgiving. I've always done it the day after Thanksgiving. Sometimes would start at Thanksgiving evening. It just kind of depend. Like if I cooked Thanksgiving dinner, then no, I was not going to that evening put up Christmas decorations. Now I might have got the guys to get all the decorations down, so that they'd be ready to go. But I would usually always do it the very next day, that Friday. And then I decided, I was like, I have a feeling that, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I haven't cooked in such a long time, and I haven't cooked a big meal since January. Yeah, so, I made New Year's meal, but that wasn't really that big because there wasn't that many people. But, I think there's going to be 12 or 13 this year, so not terrible. Not terrible, but, it really doesn't matter how many, honestly. It's just the cooking, It's, it really doesn't matter if you're cooking, in my opinion, for 5 or 50. You're still, it's cooking. You just make larger portions. But, I just started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, well, I have a feeling that on that Friday after Thanksgiving, on Black Friday, I am probably not going to want to get out of my jammies, to be real honest with you. And usually when I really enjoy my Thanksgiving meal is the leftovers, because I'm not tired, and after you've tasted everything and what have you, it's kind of like, I'm not really hungry anymore. So, yeah. So the next day is really when I enjoy it. So I decided, you know what? How about? And then if I wait after that, because Thanksgiving is on the 27th this year, so if I wait till the 28th, well, then I would go through all this to put it up. And, as it is, I'm still putting it up. I'm still not 100% done. And I've been working on it since, today's Monday, since last week. I don't remember when last week, but last week. Well, it started out, I was like, well, maybe if Jacob gets all this stuff down for me, then at some point, I can start next week, maybe decorating or whatever. And the next thing you know, I was decorating. So, yeah, and I'm not quite done yet. Mentally I am, but physically I am not. So, yeah, but, yep, my tree's up, my nativity's up, well, one of them. Unfortunately, I don't know where to put my other one. I could put it somewhere, but then that means I have to move everything off the cabinet and then find a place to store all that until after Christmas. And to be real honest with you, I'm kind of done. I need to work on my dining room. It is a big mess, a huge mess. And it's been a mess now for over a week because my daughter, she and I switched out. She had my original curio cabinet, and she wanted to switch out a piece of furniture with me. So I said, okay. So all the stuff that was in one, it's just stuff everywhere. I've got stuff on my, you can't even see my dining room table. And I don't have a centerpiece for my dining room table. So I like to get everything off of there and see what Christmas stuff I have left over. And then, you know, maybe I can come up with something. I already took some stuff to the Goodwill. And then I have some stuff that I'm going to give to, well, it's for Ann's daughter. It's one of those ceramic trees, you know. And I have one, and actually I've got two. But I ended up with another one exactly because I had gotten that one for Max. So it's like I don't need all these trees. So she said her daughter really liked them. And I was like, well, I was about to give one to the Goodwill. So I will give it to her. She and I get together on Wednesday of this week. So I'm pretty excited about that. And that was another reason why I wasn't planning on going to the grocery store on Wednesday, was because, you know, we're going to be together and I have my live. I'm going to set up my live, but I think I am going to go a little later, maybe 2:30, because I don't think it's going to interfere with anybody if I do, and that'll give me a little bit more time to get back, because we have the room until 1 o'clock. So yeah, and then we'll go eat lunch. Of course, it's all just literally right around the corner, so that's no big deal to do that. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Got my advent calendar today. I don't know why it took so long. And, you know, well, okay. It didn't take so long. I might be a little over dramatic there. I'm just used to, because I live in Texas, that when Diamond Art Club ships something, a lot of times I get it the very next day. My friend Ann did. But I did not. I didn't get mine until today, which is Monday. So, yeah. Go figure. But anyway, and then, get this. Munimade had a sale, and I think, as she said, it was the lowest, 20% off, so the biggest sale of the year. So I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to go ahead and get me something, because one of the cat fedoras that she had been sold out, and I wanted it. And then, of course, you know, I wanted free shipping, so I got something else, you know, girl math, right? So, yeah, that came today, and I could not believe it. I have never had this problem with UPS before. I don't know if they ended up hiring someone from FedEx. I don't know. But now I know I have a long driveway, but usually they just pull up into the driveway, and then from about the middle of the driveway, there's a sidewalk going up to my front door. And so they always park there and then walk up and drop off my package. We got home from the grocery store, and there was my package out close to the ditch in the leaves on the side of the driveway. Not even on the driveway. And I was like, what the heck? I don't know. You really can't. I mean, it's hard these days to find, I don't know, anybody really that takes pride in a job well done. I don't know. But that was a first for me with UPS. UPS has always been good. So, I don't know. It's just weird to me. But, yeah, thank goodness it wasn't raining. thank goodness we had pulled in, coming in, because if they had left it out while I was home, I would have never known it, you know? How would I have known that it was out there? So, you know, I don't know. It just seems like, what on earth is going on with my drills here, man? Gosh. I don't like multi-placing these lighter colors. I'm going to have to really get back in here and straighten stuff up because it is a mess. And I'm also going to have to use mica powder because no matter what, I mean, I think it just looks gappy. And I think it's because these light colors, you can see around them pretty good. So I don't know, but I'm sure I will use some mica powder. Although I don't plan on hanging this one. I'm really running out of things to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, I've heard people say that they sell them, which, I mean, I say great. That's great if, you know, if you can. I just, what the heck? You hear Max down there? I think maybe he saw a spider. But, I don't know. Oh, he said a bug just landed right in his ear. Wonder if I should let him know that now everybody knows. He's going on the internet. He's gonna be internet famous. But oh, and then so let's see what else has been going on. So yesterday morning, I get up at 7, which is about normal for me. And first thing I always do is I check my text messages, see if I missed any important texts. And there's a couple from Jacob, my youngest son. And if you're new here, you might not know, but otherwise you do know that he is a firefighter. And so there was a huge fire that was in a different town, but it was a power plant, a decommissioned power plant. And well, somehow it caught fire. We don't know how, they don't know yet. They're still doing arson. But I mean, it had to have been started by a human. I don't know how it could just self-combust. I mean, it's just wood. Anyway, so he sent this video of this hellacious fire. And I'm like, oh my God, he's at this fire. I didn't even know he was on a shift. Anyway, this town had to call for backup from all over the place. Because there's a lot of brush. There's a lot of acreage. And, it's been so dry here. It's been a drought. So, the embers were just easily catching the brush and stuff on fire. So that's what they were doing, putting out those kind of fires. And but anyway, they got out there like at 3 a.m. And he didn't leave until like almost 2. And I was like, oh, he said he was very, very tired. Which I said, yeah, I imagine so. But anyway, we got to hang out today so he could tell us all about it. He said it was pretty exciting. It's like, well, that was definitely the biggest fire he'd ever been to because, in our little area, we're in the suburbs. So, I mean, we do have a hospital, if yeah, that would be bad. And we do have hotels and, things like that. But we don't have any skyscrapers is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. But they do get called to the hospital a lot because our stupid fire alarms go off for no reason, and they have to go out there. They have to, you know, you have to. They have to treat each alarm like it's the real deal. They can't just go, I'm sure it's no big deal. But yeah, I mean, so anyway, but I was glad no firefighters were injured. There was nobody got harmed. The place was abandoned. In fact, a company that does desalination of salt, you know, make fresh water out of salt water, had bought the property. And yeah, so, you know, of course, a lot of people are like, oh, I bet they started it on purpose. I'm like, that's too obvious, you know? It's too obvious. There's a lot of transients down in those areas. So I kind of feel like that's probably what happened, you know? But I'm sure the arson investigators will figure it out. Probably. So anyway, we went and ate breakfast with him and got the lowdown on everything. Let's see what else. I'm not going to do an unboxing of my advent calendar. When I go to open everything up, I'll probably do a video then, and, you know, just warn people that, you know, there's spoilers, because I don't wait and open one thing at a time. Once I open one, I'm like, because I am like a little kid at heart when it comes to stuff like that. So no. And I'll take you along when I open it. But I don't plan on opening it until, you know, probably December 1st. So I know it's supposed to be the 12 days of Christmas, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm an adult. There's not a whole lot of benefits to being an adult, but that's one of them. So I'm going with it. I am going with it. Yeah, you see, I don't know if you can really pick this up on the camera, but yeah, it's definitely going to need mica powder. Oh, goodness. This didn't get down good. I might have to refill my pen. I don't have my straightening tool over here, or else I would straighten it as I go. Let's put some more of these in. So, yeah, I've got, I would like to put, well, I really would like to get a, around my front door, some sort of garland and, you know, stuff like that, and a wreath and what have you, but I don't know. But I want to see it. I mean, I looked at Amazon and it's like, I can't tell anything by this. And then, I mean, yeah, the prices were good, but I was like, I don't know, what does it look like in real life? Because a lot of times it don't look as good as it does in the picture. And I went to Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby was like, so much of their stuff just looks cheap. And I don't want it to look cheap, you know? So I was like, well, I'll look at Front Gate. It's like, no. I want front gate quality, you know, at Hobby Lobby prices. And yeah. But no, I mean, I don't want something that, I don't know. I want something nice. But it's hard for me to spend a lot of money on something that, A, doesn't get doesn't get used that often. But also, that's going to be outside, you know? So I don't know. But I mean, I know that if you get something cheap and it goes outside, it definitely isn't going to last very long. So I don't know. I thought about, I mean, I looked up how to make my own garland that should go around the door, because they make some really nice ones. But y'all, it's like, no, 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 no. I cannot, I mean, no. I found one already done, and it was like $3,000, and I was like, you know, what? So I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing people that have those, because I mean, they're built on a frame. So when you take it down, you know, you've got an actual mesh frame. And I'm like, oof, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. I actually considered at Costco, they had some wreaths that were fresh. And I was like, you know, I could do that. But there were so many people over there, and I had promised Max and Jacob that, you know, we wouldn't be there that long. I just needed to get 2 items. Neither one of those items I could get, but we did get other stuff. Got our grand kitty cat tree, or whatever they call them. And she likes it. She's already in it. He was like, I hope she gets in it. I'm like, why wouldn't she? And sure enough, he put it up, and she's already in it. It is a nice one. It's a very nice one. And Costco had it for like $99. So we got it for her. She's a good kitty. Very good kitty. I tell you, though, something happens to her, Jacob is going to be very upset. Because he's had her now at least 8 years, if not longer. She wasn't, I mean, I don't know how old she was when he got her, but she wasn't like a little tiny kitten or anything. So she may have been 1 or something like that. So I hope she was like 1. Because I think cats live longer than dogs usually, but she also has feline diabetes. She just recently got diagnosed with that. So, yeah. Let me see if I can't scruff this up a little bit. Make it a little easier, maybe, to get some more done here. I started this kit. This is, you know, if you didn't know, and I don't think I said at the beginning, I'm doing this for the Femme Cadabra paint-along that Artemis and Tammy, Diamond Painting with NMD, are hosting. And this is my first Femme Cadabra kit. I really like it. It's also from Muni Made, who I really like. I like her kits. Let's see here. But that's what this kit is for. And I started it early because I just was too excited. So I started early, and then I was like, yeah, I better slow down, because while you didn't have to have a new start, you had to have something, you know, because it's November 1st. So now I slowed down, and now I'm like, oh no, I need to hurry up, because, you know, I would take days of not working on it, And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I need to step it back up because I do want to be finished. I have my Alphonse Mucha. I've gone ahead and just, it's sitting over there on my other desk, and I will get around to it. But it is very hard for me to work on several things at once. Now, I did put a table downstairs so that I could do stuff down there, and mostly it's been just small stuff. But then I started working on this all crystal canvas. It's a crystal canvas designs, I think. And so they're all crystals. And it is a Rudolph. So I've been working on that downstairs. Kind of feel like I should take my Alphonse Mucha down there and work on it. I hear Max up here. He must be going into his guitar room. Better not be bringing no bugs. My goodness, there's a lot of this color. This is 948. So one of the things that Diamond Art Club came out with today was some bling. And they had some trays too, but I didn't need any trays. But they had some bling. And I bought some of those. I do need to sort through my bling because I bought a storage system for it. And I don't know if it's going to be big enough, but I want to do a video of me building the storage and then trying to figure out a way to organize them, organize my special drills. I also have some that are not in containers. I got them from Tmall, DP with sparklers. So they're in like these bags. So I'd like to get something else to, put them in. And I do have plenty to do that. I do have other storage to use, to put them in. But this is like a display because, I think they're so pretty. And, here's the thing, though, is I wonder if I just collect them because I don't know that I will use them. If that makes any sense. I know it doesn't make any sense because it's like, oh, no, I don't know. Do I want to, actually use them? I don't know. I've never blinged up a kit, ever. So, it just never really dawns on me. And it looks like it requires a lot of thought, which I don't like to do. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious if any of y'all bought any of the bling from. Honestly, I don't know if they are, I guess they're fairy dust. I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. I hope they're not ABs. I am just not an AB fan. I just am not. But anyway, so yeah, that's a video I want to do here pretty soon. I also want to do a follow-up to my e-pen from Art Dot. I want to do a follow-up of that. When I get done with this kit here, I want to follow up with my idea of kitting up in baggies. The pros and the cons for me. But I will give you a spoiler alert. I did order another one of these baggie holders from Bella. I also, and I am gonna show it to y'all. At some point I'll do a video and show y'all, and we'll do a comparison. But I did buy, because it was considerably cheaper, and shipping was definitely cheaper, from Forever Young. They make a bag holder. And so I want to kind of give you my thoughts on it. But yeah, so I plan on doing that at some point. Okay, am I done? I don't want to get too excited too quickly, but I think I am done. Okay. So let's put these in here. Oy, oy, oy. And you see all of this here, all of that there. That, my friends, no, that's not an AB. Oh, I thought it was an AB. It's not, though. Let me see. No, it's not. Okay, good. Because I was like, oh. Color blocking has its own challenges. Light color blocking has its own challenges, but AB, light color AB color blocking, oh, any color AB color blocking is, ooh, it's not fun. But it's this one, it's a pink. So let's see here. Let me put the little thingy in here so it doesn't go. Oh, before I do that, let me show you the sides. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I mean, there's my finger. So yeah, it's pretty deep, and I like that. I do. All right, I've got a lot of these because if you can see, all of this here, with the exception of just a couple, is all this. Oh, joy. Joy, joy. Joy, joy, down in my heart. Down in my heart. So I don't know if I said, but for my menu for Thanksgiving, we are going to have, I'm fixing a turkey and a ham and some dressing. Cornbread dressing is my most favorite of all times. Way overcounted that. And then, of course, there will be some gravy to go over everything. So, yes, I bought some extra chicken gizzards. Of course, I'll use the neck and stuff that comes with the turkey, but I bought some extra chicken gizzards. I also bought some chicken feet, because that will make a delicious and healthy broth, because I bought some extra chicken broth just in case, but I prefer to use the natural stuff, if at all possible. So anyway, and then we're gonna have just some canned green beans. I'm like, no one really eats them anyway. And then I'm making a sweet potato casserole. I don't eat sweet potato casserole, but a lot of people do. And so I decided, well, I don't eat it, so I don't know what it tastes like, but I make it just the way, when I would help my grandmother cook when I was growing up. And so that's how I make it, and everybody says it's really good. But it's very basic. I just bake some sweet potatoes and then peel them after they've cooled off, smash them up with some butter and a little bit of milk, kind of like you would mashed potatoes, I guess. And then with some cinnamon and some brown sugar. And then spread that in a casserole dish. And then I cover it with marshmallows and bake it in the oven until the marshmallows are lightly toasted or browned and melted. So we're having that. I was going to fix squash, but then I decided, do we really need squash? But I don't know. Seeing as how I still have to go back and get some green onions, I might add some squash. I don't know. I usually add squash on New Year's, but, you know, I could. I like squash. We all like it. So, yeah. And then, let's see. Of course, some rolls. Like I said, I bought the Sister Schubert's because, I don't know. You know, the last thing I want, because I would fix the rolls the day of, right? And the last thing I want is, you know, for whatever reason, maybe they overproofed or, you know, the yeast didn't work well, or, you know, I just don't want any oopsie-daisies. Because rolls are kind of important on Christmas. Not Christmas, well, they're important on Christmas too, but on Thanksgiving. So, and I was like, you know, everybody likes them. They're super easy to put on a baking sheet and brush with some butter and pop in the oven for 15 minutes. So, that's what I'm doing there. And then, of course, you know, homemade gravy. Gonna have that. And then I'm making some deviled eggs. Because everybody likes deviled eggs, so you gotta make those. And then I'll have a can. I bought a couple cans of black olives. I didn't get any green olives or Spanish olives. Probably should have, but meh, I didn't want to. I don't really care for them, you know, to eat by themselves. I mean, I will eat them, but that's not my favorite. So, and then some cranberry. This is the first year I bought cranberry sauce, and it's the, from what I understand, because I don't eat it, so that's, which is why I've never bought it. It's the kind that's in the can that's jelly, you know. Supposedly that's what everybody likes. I mean, I've had people tell me, you know, well, you would like homemade cranberry sauce, and I've had people tell me, no, man, the jelly stuff is way better. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense to me that the homemade would taste better, but I don't know. How about y'all? Do y'all prefer the jelly stuff? Because a lot of people do. I mean, I like cranberry juice, but I just can't imagine it with my turkey and my dressing. I mean, that just seems kind of, I don't know, foreign to me. Fortunately, this year I have 2 roasting pans, or 2 electric roasters, I should say. I've got plenty of roasting pans. So I will do my turkey in one, and then my ham in another. And then, of course, I'll make my dressing in the same pan that the turkey's cooked in, so I can get all those wonderful juices in my dressing. And in my dressing, you know, here's the thing about dressing. I have never, ever seen any that were the same. Ever. There is a place that's not, you know, that does catering and stuff. I've had their dressing before, and I would say it's the closest to what I grew up, or to what I do, out of every dressing I've ever had in my life. But when growing up, my grandmother always made oyster dressing and cornbread dressing. I could not stand the cornbread dressing, and the oyster dressing is nothing like, any place I've ever seen. So that came from my great-grandmother, my grandfather's parents, who were from Italy, who arrived in Louisiana. And they didn't go to Ellis Island, they arrived in Louisiana. And, I guess her trying to fit in, because, there was no, Thanksgiving in Italy, so it was all different for her. And just kind of going with what she had, and I think she just made it up, because I've seen oyster dressing be basically cornbread dressing with just some oysters in it, and this was nothing like that. So, in fact, the oysters were diced up, so you really, I just loved it, okay? It was like a bread dressing, no cornbread, though. Had crackers and stuff. I loved it, growing up, I absolutely loved it. I know the ingredients, and I could probably make it. I've made it once in my adult life. And nobody liked it. So I accept me, which is fine, But yeah. Anyway, make for my corn. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So I never really cared for my grandmother's cornbread dressing. It was just, I don't know. It had a lot of sage in it, and I'm not a sage fan. And then Max's mother, she had a cornbread dressing too, and I just felt like, if Nanny's cornbread and her cornbread could get together and have a baby, I bet it would be good cornbread. I mean, dressing, So I was like, let me think on this. So I decided, okay, here's the things that I did like that his mother did. And here's the things that I did like that my grandmother did. And so I just combined the two. And I absolutely love it. And everyone else seems to love it too. So, yeah. So that's what I do. But it's fairly basic. I just make my cornbread a couple of days before, just so it can get nice and stale. And then I dry out some bread in the oven, until it's nice and toasty. But it's, I don't toast the bread in the traditional sense. I put it in the oven like at 200, 250, somewhere around there, and just, flip it over. And after a couple of hours, it's like a crouton. And so then that's how because you want your bread and your cornbread to be stale so that they can absorb all the goodness. And so all the goodness is I use green onion, white onion, celery. Those things I saute in a stick of butter. And then once my turkey's done and I take it out of the roasting pan, then I look and see how much drippings I have, but I always have to add. So then I will put like a stick of butter in it, and let that melt, and then take my sauteed veggies and pour those in there, and then pour my breads in there, give it a quick stir and just try to get an idea. And then I'll add some stock or some broth, whatever I have. Just enough to get it, a little bit. And then, of course, I add salt and pepper. I should have said that. But I add that to my celery and onion and green onion saute. So I got to be, careful with that. And then I will take some raw eggs, beat it up really good, and just, pour it in there and then just start stirring until everything gets incorporated. And, of course, it's at 350, which is what it was for the turkey, so I don't change that. And then, I season it, I taste it and season it as needed. I do put a very smidge of sage. Like I said, I'm not a big sage person, so I don't want it to be sage dressing. So I think you wouldn't even know it's in there, honestly. But I still put it in there because in my mind it's supposed to help, so you just add a little something, something. So, yeah, and then once it's done and it's got some crispies around, it's getting some crispies around the edges, then we say, done, son. Of course, I have to call everybody in to come take a taste to let me know if it needs anything. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. And then I always have extra, so I'll, and that's intentional. Then we'll freeze it in individual servings. I'll put it in like Ziploc bags and smash it flat and then just stack them up like that. So whenever I'm, I guess maybe I had the last one after we moved in here. I think maybe towards I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or so. And I'm here to tell you what, it tasted just like it was, like it was fresh, like I just made it. So, and I can eat just the dressing by itself. Don't need anything else with it. It is my happy place. But yeah, so that's how I fixed that. My turkey is very basic. I don't brine it. I don't, it's just I rub butter on it and then salt and pepper. And then I cook it in an electric roaster. I used to have an electric roaster that also had a convection on it. I don't have that anymore. I don't think they make them anymore. And which it helped brown out the skin and make the skin crispy. But it doesn't now. But the thing is the turkey is so tender and so moist because it cooks in that roaster, that electric roaster. So there's a lot of steam in there. And it just makes it just falls apart. It just falls apart. The breast is not dry. Yeah. It's good. And I'm not making desserts. I keep thinking, yes, I am, because I do enjoy making desserts, but I keep going, no. Maybe other people can bring some dessert. I don't know. But then I'm like, oh man, I make a really good apple pie. No, I don't like pumpkin pie, so. But, A lot of people do. Oh, well, now I think I delegated the pumpkin pie, so hopefully whoever brings it will know to bring whatchamacallit, whipped cream, because I know people like that too. So, yeah. Oh, Lord, y'all. I was hoping to finish this whole section, but there's no way. We've already been going now for just over an hour. And I don't really know what the sweet spot is, but let me see. I'm going to do these little doohickeys right here. Let's see. And then I think I'll try to figure out what else is going on in my little life. Oh, no, I cannot. No. Oh, there it is. It's 63. It's a fairy dust. I think I'd know that already. You would think so. Oh, and I guess if you're wondering, hang on, okay, I get so sidetracked, y'all, so sidetracked. If y'all are wondering, I don't know where the sticker part is, but, oh, jeez Louise. Sometimes I feel like I struggle with everything. So if you're wondering, I am currently, this is the kit, Christmas Joy. I'm currently working on it like this, and I'm about right, well, no, I'm about right here. Yeah, about right there. So if you can see that, so I'm right here. So not much longer at all. And then after I do this, I will go downstairs and work downstairs. Max and I have been watching true crime documentaries like Forensic Files and things like that. We started watching a thing on Netflix called The Perfect Neighbor. We need to finish that. Not sure. There's really it's like they don't use any narrating or anything. It's all strictly done by police body cam footage, which is kind of odd, you know, like what is going on? I mean, all you really know is there's a lady there who doesn't like kids very much. So that creates problems. So I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy doing that down there. And that way I get to hang out with everybody. So, okay. I don't see any more of these. So let's see what else is going on. Okay, so I'm going to schedule my live for Wednesday, and I'm going to debate whether doing it at 2:30 or 3. Let's see, get in there. Let me come out a little bit. Yeah, I'm debating on which time would be best. If I do it at 3, that gives me plenty of time to get in here and do it. So I might do that because I know Shay does not go live until like 7 p.m. So I know I wouldn't be bothering her. And I don't think anyone else does. So I think I might do it for 3 o'clock. And maybe more people can show up, or it could be that nobody shows up. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, I don't think I have anything else. I have no plans to purchase anything else, but I didn't have plans to purchase the bling stuff today. So yeah, there's that. I am expecting another. I did buy 2 kits from Diamond Art Club. And I don't know why I did it, because I'm not going to get around to doing them. And one of them is the menorah. Oh, it's the real colorful one. I thought it was so pretty. So I got that one to do, but I don't know if it'll get done this year. Probably not. So, and I've been trying not to buy anything that, you know, I don't plan on doing right away, but that's okay. And then another one that was, because, you know, free shipping, right? Yeah, so that's it on that front. I haven't ordered anything else besides that. I got my Muni made in. I will do an unboxing on that. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I appreciate you being here and watching my WIP and chat. If you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing so. I do put up diamond painting content. Usually I do one WIP and chat and one live a week, and then there's unboxings and stuff thrown in there as needed. I don't unbox everything that I get because I don't know that anybody really cares. But anyway, if there is a video that you would like to see me do that I haven't done, or that I've talked about doing and I haven't done, let me know. I'd be happy to do so. That reminds me, I meant to tell you all about my dachshunds. A new subscriber would like to hear about it, so I'm going to have to save that for either the live or another WIP and chat. But yeah, also I've got to start working on my Christmas premiere video. So if you have any idea, I mean, some people have already finished, y'all. Gosh, I don't even have an idea. So if any of y'all have any ideas, I know someone has mentioned baking, you know, doing like a baking episode, and I could do that. Yeah, I mean, but let me know what you would like for me to do. I'd like to do something more than just a regular old WIP and chat. It'd be fun to do something else. So anyway, let me know. I apologize for the shadows. I don't have my Ring camera light on because it puts such a glare for you and me. So I've got a task light over here, and it's creating the shadows. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. And let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are and how you're doing. All right, everyone. Bye. Bye.